We're live now. We're all manner of live.
We are.
We are. Welcome to the Barry Beat Podcast, live from ASB Financial Studios and Fly in the Wall Productions. In-house tonight, we have the lovely Raylene.
Good evening.
Good evening, Raylene. And the awesome Sarah. Good evening, Sarah.
Hello.
So, hope everyone's doing well tonight. And how's everyone here doing? Well,
Good. I was just trying to make my phone come on so that I could read the comments.
there's no comments because nobody's watching right now.
Well,
It's sad.
well, they will be.
I gotta.
Now there's
we-
two people.
we
Welcome
know.
whoever it is that just showed up.
We know that people
I
are
gotta
going to
send.
tune
I gotta
in
send the
to-
link. I
to
usually
watch
send the
us.
link to people.
Yes, send the link to people. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, we know that people are going to tune in to watch us.
That's right.
But I didn't get my
Yes.
normal notification that you went live.
You didn't get the normal notification? I don't know
No,
what to tell you.
Facebook didn't send me a notification.
Facebook's acting up.
Sure
It is.
So, well, I don't know. It might be.
I hope not. We've had enough of that lately.
This is true. This is very
We
true.
really have.
So tonight we have Raylene Meunier and Sarah Hellman on here with us. Going to do a couple announcements. Do you want to say something, Raylene?
As far as announcements go, well, first of all, let's give a huge shout out and thank you to the Barre Partnership
Absolutely.
and everybody that volunteered
Yep.
and was a part of helping to make this weekend absolutely beautiful, spectacular. I don't even know what else I could possibly say because it was amazing. It was truly amazing. One of the best events we've had here in a long time. So on top, coming right off of the amazing job done for Heritage Festival, I thought, that was a great community event. But this weekend was pretty awesome, and the city looks beautiful.
It was spectacular.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's not over. There's lots of other stuff going on. There's still the punch card, where several businesses, I would assume the majority of businesses downtown are participating, where I think if you spend $50, you get a punch, or it could even be less than that. I have to look at the rules specific. I have the posters for that, and I'll post them up when we're done. But we have the house decorating contest that's coming up soon. That goes from December 4th through the 25th. The winners announced on the 26th.
Are you gonna do that?
I'm gonna make it look festive, but I don't know that it would be contest worthy.
And Sarah, how about you?
Yeah, I live on a dead end street, so I'm not really looking forward to inviting traffic onto our street. So I will try and do a little bit of lights. I already have some lights up, but I am not going to enter a contest.
And
I'm not
how
going
about
to.
you,
I am
Mr.
not
Bruton?
going to. I do not do Christmas lights.
Oh,
I'm actually,
come on.
believe it or not, I am not much of a Christmassy person. I'm kind of like a bah humbug, deplete the surplus population kind of guy.
Oh. So I have the let's scoot back to something happy and
You're
say
just a Grinch.
The Mary Berry Holiday Punch Card is spend $10 in 5 stores to enter a weekly raffle and get your card punched to fill out the back of the cards, and then just drop it off at the Barre Partnership office right here on Main Street. Or let me see. No, yep, just drop it off there. And that is the 25th of November through the 31st of December. Shop local, shop local, shop local, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Heck yeah.
whenever you can. If you can do it, do it. Even just for the simplest things. Just go in and say, hey, and get your Scotch tape there to wrap the gifts. And everything, every little bit counts. So, yeah, we would love to have you downtown. And then this weekend, the Barre Lions Club is selling their Christmas trees again. And so that's always a great cause. It's going to be this year up on Morrison Road in Barrytown at the Tetros Aces or Tetros Appliance warehouse and store now that he has up there in Barrytown. And those are $40. And Friday, noon to 5, Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5. So, yeah, swing by, get your Christmas tree. All kinds of stuff going on, though. Keep watch of this page and Air It Out and the partnership, please.
Absolutely.
The Barre partnership.
Absolutely. I'm trying to pull up some pictures, which it obviously didn't take, so I'm not going to waste my
from
time.
this weekend?
Yeah, I
Yes,
was going to pull up some
It was
really
wonderful.
Nice pictures.
It was. And it
really
was.
was.
And everybody that was out there on Friday, my God, it was raining. It was blowing.
Yes.
It was cold
It was.
and nasty. And everyone powered through and did it anyways for the love of the city
Barre.
and of Barre and just the season and everything. It was just amazing.
It was a lot of fun. I personally enjoyed it.
I was really impressed at the turnout. There were a lot of people that came to watch the parade, and then stayed afterwards for hot chocolate or hot apple cider, which was delicious.
And there was s'mores, I heard. Did you try them?
There were s'mores for sale. I did not purchase a s'more, but they looked really good.
I heard.
I didn't know that they were for sale.
Yeah, like $4.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah, they had all different like types of s'mores. I didn't really look at them too closely, but I heard her say peanut butter s'more.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody ordered a peanut butter s'more. That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing.
I had
Right.
peanut butter pie for the first time ever this weekend.
One of my favorites.
Peanut butter pie.
Yeah, I'd never had it
love
before.
Peanut butter pie.
And until this weekend.
It's good stuff.
My niece, that's what she brought to our Thanksgiving dinner was for dessert was peanut butter pie.
So I'm just going to show some pictures of the event. This is obviously after the Christmas tree lighting. Then we have, some more pictures of the Christmas tree lighting. And this can all be found on the Barre City Community fan page. She had gotten some folks to come up and play music, which was really awesome.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember her name, but she's the Barrytown instrumental music teacher and her husband. It was a guitar. He played guitar and she played flute. It was gorgeous.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I
was
cannot
really
remember
nice.
her name.
Jennifer
is it Twitchell?
something?
Or I don't remember either, but she came here in this studio last year, too, because she did the concert in the park. And I loved her. I mean, beautiful music. Yeah.
And of course, we had Nicholas and Tracy that showed up. And Nicholas was on the show this morning, huh?
He was on Aired Out this morning. It was great to see him and have him and give you a hard time about it. Of course, we had to make sure that we did that he was here first. But it was great having him.
Still haven't had Steve McKenzie?
No, still have
McKenzie
not.
on?
And you have had Steve
I have had
McKenzie
Steve McKenzie on.
several times. I know. But it was nice. It was nice to have him, and it would be nice to have more people from the city and the different departments come and join us and introduce themselves to the greater community. And it would be great to get the mayor in at some point. I don't know if that'll ever happen, and I would love to sit down with Teddy.
Yeah,
I would
Teddy's a lot
I
of
would
fun.
just love to sit down with Teddy.
Teddy's
'cause-
great. I will say that I love Teddy. He's a good guy.
So,
Don't like his politics, but I love Teddy individually.
you can't have everything. But
have it
it would
all.
just we have Tom Lozon comes in on Wednesdays if he's able. We know that he's absolutely coming in this Wednesday. There's quite the agenda, as we will be discussing this evening, and lots of things to talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm just going to go through a few more pictures. Of course, we had.
I thought you were still scrolling through.
I had the camera on you.
Oh,
got
jeez.
Tina Ruthier and Dawn Ruthier and some. I think that's their grandchildren.
Yes.
And then of course we got a picture of the s'more tent, not s'more, s'more. And the hot chocolate tent with the Grinch, and then we've got a picture of me with the Grinch and Michael with the Grinch. Looks so very, very happy to be between the two of us. I will say it's kind of like tall to short
Picture.
so
Yeah.
You have a picture of me with a Grinch too.
I do. We're getting right to it. This is a great picture of two kids. I can't remember the kids who they were, but it was an adorable picture with the two of them having the Grinch's hands on them. And then Sarah with the Grinch. And then the s'mores.
Michael made me do it.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was really great. If you guys didn't make it down to the lighting, go to the Barre City Community fan page. Aired out. There was live streaming there. Michael Deering did some live streaming, and of course the partnership. Shannon Alexander and her amazing talent took a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, and she's put together a couple of videos.
Yeah,
that are great.
Yeah. It just, all that stuff is out there, folks, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, and it's still all lit up every night. So stop down,
true.
go for a walk, enjoy it. True. That's why it's there. So
absolutely,
come down, do a little shopping, check out the lights, and.
Did JD get the reveal on his live stream? I know you said you just missed it on yours.
The reveal for what?
The light reveal.
Oh no!
It was really cool.
I had it. It was literally 3, 2, and then I got 1, and then the lights came on.
Right. Yeah.
It was pretty spectacular. I was lucky enough to be there with my sister and her family, nieces and nephews, and my little 2-year-old niece was just enamored by well, that's not the right word. She was just like didn't know what to do with herself, and she went up for a picture with Santa, and she wouldn't even look at the camera. She was looking at Santa like, who's this guy? I don't know who he is, but they tell me it's Santa. So it was pretty cute. It was a good time.
JD missed the trees. He missed the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the lights coming on. And in his defense is because those tiny little legs were trying to make it from Emsley, where they were live for the parade. He was trying to walk up to the park fast enough, and sometimes.
Holy crap! I just thought of a great idea.
Oh no!
Okay, so hear me out.
He could be watching.
Hear me out. He ain't watching. He doesn't watch the podcast. Michael does, and Michael's probably going to be like, I don't care. So what do you think about this?
Oh, no.
We lost Mary and Barry, apparently. Apparently Mary and Barry weren't here this year, and they're the elves.
Right.
What if we dressed up JD and Michael in elf outfits?
Yes, it would be perfect. JD has an elf outfit. He's got the tights and everything. JD has an elf outfit. I don't know if
it
it's
wouldn't be hard to obtain
appropriate,
one
though.
for Michael Deering.
No.
I'm really not
go
sure.
To the elf store for both of them.
I'm not sure if JD's is city
probably
appropriate,
pick something up
but
at Big Lots.
I know he has one. He worked at Gusto's once.
We'll have to think about that next
And
year.
I
I'll
know
have to
there are
reach out to
pictures of
Tracy.
it. I could probably get you a picture.
Tracy, if you're watching, this is a really good idea.
Yes, it really is.
Please pursue this idea.
I told you today about an idea that I have for Main Street that I really want to push.
Oh, what's that? I
You
can't
know,
remember.
the Newberries
Was I
in
already
front of
reading?
Newberries.
Oh, yes.
I would
Yes.
really love to see that. When I drive up and I see all these lights, and that's what made me feel the way I feel about it, is seeing how truly pretty the city is. And then you get to a couple of locations, and it's like, oh, wah, wah. You know,
Yeah.
we got the smoke shop that has the painted on fake windows. That's ugly. You know, they could do something about that. That's just not, you know.
Yeah.
And then we have the Newberry that is, let's face it, it's going to look the way it looks because it's never going to sell. And it just sits there and looks horrible and dirty and dingy. And I think that we could dress it up by putting a big banner right in front of the store. City owned or whatever, partnership owned, this big banner right in front of the store, in front of the windows, and have it be informational all across the bottom. You can find out all the different phone numbers and websites and places to look, and it could have a map of the city on it and just a big vinyl banner.
Not a bad idea.
I know a guy that could make something like that.
Right in the front.
Yes. Jeff definitely could.
We could fundraise for that, and I think it would be worth it, and it would look a hell of a lot better than what is there right now. And
It's true.
it could have a really pretty background of the city, and you know, put a map of the city up there. You wouldn't necessarily be able to put store names because things come and go and move around, but you could put numbers. And so if you Googled and it said such and such is at 145 North Main, you can tell where it is.
Something
That's a
to think
great
about.
idea.
Yeah. I really do think
Maybe
it's
we could
something
use
to
some
think
ARPA
about.
funds.
Okay. we're
No.
done with that. So I do want to let people know that tomorrow is Giving Tuesday.
It is.
And to remind folks that Giving Tuesday, you can give to the Christmas for Kids program, which I'm super supportive of. You can also go downtown and fill the meters for Renita Marshall Helping Hands Foundation.
Right.
And then go into the stores and buy something.
And get your punch card.
And get your punch card.
Right.
So tomorrow's Giving Tuesday. On Barre City Community fan page, we'll be posting the link to a donation platform for the Christmas for Kids, and also wanted to make a comment about the pine tree in the City Hall Park. I actually reached out to someone on the Elks Club to see whether or not we could get the blue lights down there again, because they used to have blue lights on the pine tree to represent, remembering people, though I'm a little low on the sound, remembering those that have, gone, have left us. So we'll see how that goes down.
Right. I saw that somebody had actually commented about that and asked about the memorial tree.
That was me.
And the blue lights on a couple of the posts. No, it wasn't you, or I would have known that it was you.
Sorry.
It was somebody
I
else.
posted it in the Barry Memories thing.
No, somebody asked in the comment section of lighting up the city. Somebody asked about that tree. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And there we go. They do it at the Elks now, just because it's easier for folks for like the warmth and stuff, because they can go directly into the Elks Lodge after they do the ceremony. But we'll see what happens. So on to City Council agenda, which is why everybody is here, right, everyone?
Yeah.
And Connie, by the way, I want to say hello. All right. So under consent agenda, we have the approval of the donation from the Brusa Trust to Capstone Crisis Fuel Assistance Program. We're going to be donating out of the Brusa Trust $5,000 this year, which is not unusual. We have done that in the past. We've also taken money out of the Brusa Trust to go put money into during 2020, the COVID epidemic. We didn't collect money on the streets for the coin drop for Christmas for Kids, and there was $5,000 donated from the Brusa Trust. And
can you explain what that is for
Sure.
people that may not know what
So
that is?
the Brusa Trust in 2013, well, it was a trust that was given over to us, the city, in like 2013. The trust has wording that specifies that it has to be used for the poor children of Barre. So we can't, take $5,000 and give it to housing for, building a new house, that $400,000 house. You can't do that. That's not
right.
That's what it's designed, not what it's designed for.
So this trust was given over to the city as part of somebody's will?
So the specifics on the trust, and I know that it was in the packet original, so it didn't. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, here's the history. I got it right here. So the Brusa Trust was created following the 1937 death of Louis G. Brusa, a local granite artist. Mr. Brusa left his estate in trust with funds available to support his wife for the balance of her life. They had no children. Upon her death, year unknown, the remainder of the funds were to be used by the trustees, which then there was, handed down, and then the city got a hold of it. So it's a wonderful asset that we have that we can give for our community. We can't give too much because we have to maintain the principle of it, which is about $50K.
Right.
So, and there's about $90K in there right now. So
The person who turned it over to the city, Reverend Rennie Azatea, I don't know if you know this, he recently passed away.
I did not know that.
From cancer.
That's too bad.
It is.
Well, and he had COVID, so that complicated things. But I just saw that in the thing there, but I don't know if you knew that.
So some old business, we did approve the Gusto's liquor license, and I'll shoot it on over to Raylene for comments on that because, Gusto's is a big supporter of Aired Out.
Well, we're happy that all of that got renewed. I couldn't imagine that it wouldn't. Gusto's has been here with us for a very long time, and they do a lot for the community. They are always...
Can we talk about the picture?
What? The picture of me with the guy, you mean, on
I'm
the
not going to
table?
lie, when I first saw that, I'm looking at this picture of Raylene with, at Gusto's, and straight up I thought she was in a strip joint. I mean, the guy's leg was out, and I'm like, why is Raylene posting this? Why is she in a strip club? Where is the strip club?
Oh, gosh.
Yes. So I was like, what
it was
in
the
world?
guitar player of Bonfire, and which is an AC/DC tribute band who played their final concert on Friday night at Gusto's. They and it was amazing. And that guy, that's what he is known for. I mean, he just takes that guitar and he goes, no matter where they are, he goes all over the place. He's just always all over the place. And not long before he did that to me, JD had jumped over the back of the booth to get back in his seat instead of having the people move.
How old is he?
Because we were all on a bench, so instead of making everybody move again, he just jumped over the back. And we already know that, when you say how
Is he
old
touched?
is he? Come on. Yes, he is touched.
A little touched.
So I had just completed a live and was trying so hard to quickly get the words on the title of the video to say, we do not own the rights to this music, because if you don't do that, Facebook will garble the sound.
Really?
And then they'll tell you they're going to delete it because of copyright laws.
Law.
And so when that guy jumped on the table in front of me and literally is standing right here in front of me, all his junk and glory, I thought
that's
I was
what you wanna
totally
call it.
ignoring him because I thought it was JD. So I didn't even look up at him at first until Heather started laughing and carrying on. And so I looked up and yep, there he was right in front of me. And she got some pictures. Yeah. I mean, you can put it up there if you want to.
Well, I'm scrolling down to try to find that. Yeah, because I was like, what in the world is happening here? And this is the reason why, folks. I was like, what in the world is happening? And I didn't look very long. I just saw the
you just
the
saw
legs and the
standing in front of my face.
Yeah. And I was like,
oh yeah.
yeah.
And that's when I realized that's when I realized, oh, okay.
It's a worthy,
That's not
mistake.
JD.
It's an easy
That's not
mistake.
JD. But yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah.
This was just this past Friday night.
It was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
To a packed house, and it was a great night. Yeah.
All right. Well, we also hired Ryan Starr as our new IT specialist. So finally we got that, which is really good. The skating rink is opened. We're working on a wastewater. Nicholas is working on the wastewater treatment facility smell issue. Hopefully we can get that addressed for once.
Mm-hmm.
Authorize the planning grant for the ACCD, which the mayor had to recuse himself, and I became temporary mayor, which
Mayor
I think is
for a
going to happen
minute.
tomorrow night as well.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mayor for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor for a minute, and I think tomorrow night we have something that he'll probably have to recuse himself from as well. November 8th, the general election. Just want to let people know the results of that. Not the results. We're not going to talk about the results, but the participation rate was 47.3%. There was 2,845 people voting, which represented early absentee ballot submission was 72%. So that was really good.
Of that 2,800.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. Absentee ballots are definitely really good. It gets people out there to vote by mail. So manager I have to say, it was great to see him on Aired Out this morning. And boy, he's getting around.
He is. He just did a tour of the city too.
Yeah,
the businesses.
Yeah, he was at the 50th anniversary, right?
Yes.
Wabi's 50th anniversary, which I didn't tell them, but congratulations to Wabi's, amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him at the craft fair. I saw him at the Christmas lighting, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the meet and greet with Ami Green for the BADC. So.
Well, and he spoke this morning how he felt it was so interesting that he was interviewed. The pretty much his entire process was with community members. It was not with like city officials, and he was kind of shocked by that. But I think that was his really first heads up that that's how everything kind of was here or needed to be here to be successful. So I think he knows that building those bridges and making those relationships is going to be really important in his success. And I believe that he truly takes that to heart. I mean, I really do believe that that's how he feels about it. He did the turkey trot or the gobble wobble, whatever he called it. And he did the Granite City 5K, and he also did the Easter Seals where he came, what do you call it now? I call it catapult, but he was, did the rope over, came down a rope. Yeah.
Came down a rope like off
on these.
Repelled.
He repelled down the building down here at the high rise. Like, are you out of your freaking mind, Nicholas?
Yeah, no. I'll pass.
But he's just he has been extremely involved since his boots hit the ground, and it's good to see. I think it's a really good addition.
It's nice to see. He came from New York City. And he came to this little comparatively small town or city of Barre, and he is invested in getting to know the community. And I think that's admirable. I mean, it would be very easy for somebody to just kind of, yeah, Barry, whatever. Okay, I'm just going to do my job, get my paycheck, and move on with my life. But he's really invested in going above and beyond his duties to get involved.
So I will say that I immediately reached out to him after the show this morning, informed him that it's called sliding, not sledding. Do not say sledding.
Yeah.
Why?
You say sliding. When you're in Vermont, you go sliding, not sledding.
Do you?
Yes.
I've always gone sledding.
Me too.
It's sliding. You guys, Connie, help me out here. Tell them that it's
I'm
sliding.
Barry born and bred as well.
Yeah, I don't know where
Well,
you're
I
from.
go
Sledding.
to a sliding party, but
Yeah, you go if you want to go sliding. You go sliding.
Semantics. It's just semantics.
Well, I told him that he's better off just saying sliding. Going to a sliding party. See, Connie says sliding.
yeah,
And
you
Connie's
can say
the authority
sliding
on that,
party.
right?
I agree as far as like sliding party, but I think I've said we went sledding for the day. I'm
You
pretty sure
shouldn't.
I've said that.
You shouldn't say
before.
that. You should say sliding. We went sliding.
Does that mean snow machining? If you
You don't-
say sledding,
Go skidooing. I also told him that he had to
creamy,
get
soft,
We
serve,
digress.
whatever.
No, it's creamies.
No.
It's creamies. And I told him that he had to get. He did have to get. I told him he had to get his winter tires.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
no all seasons.
Yeah, unless you have all-wheel drive, maybe you could do.
Yeah, it's still not a great
It's
idea.
not. It's not a great
to
idea.
have-
Where
I did
he
one
lives,
winter
it
on
might
all
be able-
seasons with a front wheel drive car because it
Oh,
was
no.
they were brand new tires like when I bought the vehicle, and it was a really terrible idea.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
Never
completely
again.
agree.
Studded winter tires.
Yeah. I have a Jeep, so 4-wheel drive, and they're mudding tires, so snow not a problem.
Right.
Which I just
Snow
love.
and mud are essentially the same. Can be.
Right.
That is true, Connie.
Slick as
Sledding
shit.
is snow machine. Although I say snowmobiling or I think that's what I say. I don't know. And he also confessed to me that he doesn't like eggnog. We'll have to deal with that later.
I don't like
Put some
eggnog
Kahlua
either.
in it, Nicholas. You'll be fine. Little rum.
That's pretty much what I said. I said
A little
I don't
rum,
drink, but
you'll
if
be
you put
okay.
a little rum in it, I hear that
Yeah.
it tastes better. Or
Yeah.
vodka.
Yeah.
And, well, I said a little rum or a lot of rum.
You know, it's the eggnog is the best kick-ass shortcut to French toast. You shake
yes.
it, dump it in a bowl, soak, fry. No breaking all the eggs, stirring in the milk, stirring in the cinnamon, doing all that junk. No, just open your gallon of eggnog, pour it in a bowl, dip your milk in it, and fry it up. And it makes absolutely amazing French toast without all the other.
We'll have to do
steps.
a taste test on that. That does.
I
sound
do it every
interesting.
year.
I'm very
Like,
Well,
when-
no, I mean, like,
if I
we'll
have
have
to-
to get him down here
Yeah.
and do a taste test.
Yeah, when I do brunch, it's like the easiest way to do tons of French
Can you
toast.
get eggnog year round?
No, you
I
cannot.
didn't think so.
No, it's very sad.
Yeah.
So,
You could probably do homemade eggnog somehow.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way.
But then you still got to mess with all the
Yeah.
stuff.
nobody makes homemade eggnog. I don't know anybody that does. But if you do
I
know
don't like
somebody,
eggnog
maybe-
either, though. Although I haven't tasted it in a long time, so maybe my taste buds have changed.
Shame.
I'm actually a really picky eater. There's a lot of things I don't like. I don't like mushrooms because they're slimy. I don't like raw tomato.
Okay,
don't know,
we're
there's-
done with you. We're
there's
not
a lot
talking
of
to you.
things
We're-
I don't
we're
like.
We're not talking to you no more, Sarah.
Oh, okay. I've been disinvited.
You've been disinvited.
That's unfortunate.
So on to new business for tomorrow night. We've got the authorized an emergency allocation in support of the operation of operation of a daytime warming shelter at the Aldrich Library. So what that is, it's going to be a $6,000 allocation that the Barre, the Homelessness Task Force, the Barre Interfaith Group, and the Aldrich Library are asking for $6,000 to open up the library between 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. or not 11 p.m. Sorry, 11 a.m. From Monday to Friday, and then
Just 3 hours?
well, no, because then it goes into the normal library hours.
Oh, I see.
And then on Saturday it goes from 8 to 10 a.m. for the allocation for the warming shelter, and we don't care about homeless people on Sunday. So, so they're asking for yeah, that was a snarky comment. Whatever. But gosh. I know I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Well, because you're just saying if
It's
you're going to do it, why would you only do it 6 days a week?
It's
and
a valid
not
point.
Give a shit on
well, you
Sundays?
know what? If we're, I'm a person that believes that, if we really care about the issue, let's open up the auditorium. It has showers, it has cooking facilities, it has bathrooms. It's always warm, and there's people in there, because we need somebody at the library to babysit people, because that's how it works.
Right, and you would have to have people there to babysit.
I don't think we
at
need
the
to
auditorium.
babysit homeless people, but that's okay.
You would need to do that at the auditorium too, or would you just leave it unlocked for them to?
Well, you would. I mean, if we're gonna do that, right? Like my thing is, if you're gonna sit there and say something, then do something that's actually
put your
productive.
money where your mouth is.
Right. So let's have a conversation about opening up the Barre Auditorium. It's an emergency shelter. That's what the Barre Auditorium is. Now, let me tell you something. The same people that are pushing for a warming shelter would be like, no, we can't do that. No.
Why?
Well, then then I don't know if you really care that much, but that's okay.
Why?
I don't know.
And does the library?
I get frustrated with this whole situation.
Is the library
and
truly
Barre Values
asking?
is going to freak out now.
Is the library truly asking for this
yes,
money? They want to be involved in this, and they have.
Yeah.
They are welcoming to this, because last year, I heard from some of the staff there that there were some difficulties and challenges with it being there.
Well, I think that's the reason why they want the additional funds, so that they could hire somebody to watch the homeless while they're there, and provide them, help for doing things on the computer and stuff like that. I'm very flippant about it, but that's because it annoys me. One, I don't think our library should be I think it's a repository of books. That's the way I look at libraries, but that's just me. But yeah, it will be interesting for a conversation tomorrow. I'm sure everybody's going to hate me.
I get where you're coming from, because, the library for me, is sort of, checking out books is more likely to happen, for like fiction, novels and whatnot. But I wonder if having the homeless population coming to the library during the day, if that's going to deter people from using that resource. I know of people that use that, use the computers so they can print something, or because they don't have a printer at home, or they don't have internet at home, or whatever the case may be. But I'm wondering, does that deter the regular clientele from going to the library? And they have them downstairs, right, near the children's library?
Correct.
Like, that is a little worrisome for me. I don't know. Do they still have story hour?
It's not. It's before
not
the
that, right.
It's before the library actually opens up.
I would still much rather it be in a different location than the library.
Like I said,
if we're going to do it,
if we're gonna do it, let's just do it up at the auditorium. Open it up as a homeless, not a homeless shelter, but an emergency shelter, which it is. An emergency. It's a designated emergency shelter.
Right, that's what it is.
Is the library designated as an emergency shelter?
No.
Negatory.
Don't believe so. But that's okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter. My opinions don't matter. So it is what it is.
Well, I'd love to know what people think about it, though.
I do. Yeah.
I would really
Please
love
put your
people
comments
to
in
weigh
there.
in and say and actually say what they think. I would love to know what people think. If they think
Yeah, and maybe I'm off base.
Right.
Maybe I'm off
that's
base.
the best place. And if they believe that that's the best place, why? And if they believe that maybe you're right, that we should be doing this 7 days a week and not 6, and that the auditorium would be better suited or another location, please say so. I mean, that's why we're here. We welcome that feedback and commentary, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Well, and the only reason we need a warming shelter during the day is because the shelters are closed during the day. Like, you have to be out.
No, you are incorrect, Sarah.
That's changed.
That is not the case. So the Good Samaritan is open during the winter months. It's part of the emergency allowance that they have as as a homeless shelter. They're allowed to do that. But when I mentioned that,
but not everybody is staying there.
Closed during the
and
day.
I know,
I'm just saying
the hotels don't close as well. So yeah, there is, and this is what I was complaining about last year. But I mean, I was completely outnumbered last year, and probably will be outnumbered this year too. So it is what it is. Anyway, let's not talk about homeless anymore.
No.
It's really frustrating. The situation in general, like, we can't fix it. We like to put like bandages all over it. I've got some ideas, but nobody likes my ideas. With that being said, for DPW,
on to the next.
Yes, on to the next thing where I get into more trouble. DPW budget review. We're looking at a 3.97% increase in DPW, and 64% of that is staff related. Period. And considering that. So, and that kind of falls right into the general FYI review, which FY24 review, which we're looking at personnel cost of 5.12%. We lost the cell tower, which Nicholas mentioned this morning. Unfortunately,
tell me about that.
Yeah,
I didn't.
We used to have more cell towers up on the Barre Auditorium. But the cell phone companies decided that they don't want to do business with the city. They would rather have it on top of like the Barre Manor. So that's where I think this particular cell company actually just dropped altogether, which is really sad and frustrating.
Are you allowed to say what cell company?
I want to say it was Sprint, but I can't remember. I know that when we first heard about it, I asked. And then I immediately said to everybody, don't get that service.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Did we lose it because they didn't want to do business here, or because they didn't like the space anymore? Because I would imagine that there are other spaces throughout the city that are maybe even city-owned that could be, that the tower could be put on.
People that have AT&T, since they moved to the Barre Manor, I've heard complaints. I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
Who's getting the profit from being on the Barre Manor? Barre Housing?
Barre Housing Authority.
Okay. I guess that's good. I mean, housing. Okay.
But
we don't get any money out of that.
Right,
that's not good.
$53,000 a year is
it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
And on top of that, another thing that we're losing in Barre City is $57,000 for ambulance billing. We lost one of our employees that was doing the ambulance billing, and since that person left, we can't do the contracts for Williston and all that stuff, which is really sad because that person brought in a lot of money for Barre City. And the whole situation is really frustrating. But yeah, we're losing that. And then of course, so basically we're looking at Nicholas's rough draft, right? We're looking at somewhere around 5.15% increase in the budget. When you think about that and you're like, wow, that's really high, but also think about what's inflation, right? What's the inflation rate right now? It's over 8%.
Right. And what we're having to do to get staff, just like every other place out there that is trying like crazy to hire, get people to come here. And and work, it's just part of the process. What people are having to do to get people to work for them is
insane.
It's the times.
And it's
we
so
got to do it.
So interesting to me because, before COVID, as a person seeking a job, you had to please the employer, right? You had to show up on time. You had to, do the things that you're expected to do for your job. And now it's like the roles have been reversed. And it's like the employer has to like bend over backwards to make the employee happy, or they're going to leave because there's nobody else that they can find to hire. And it's absolutely ridiculous. People don't want to go to work. I don't understand it. There's no work ethic.
Any thoughts on that?
It's the younger generation, I'm telling you.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
We're not touching that with a 10-foot pole. We're old. We're old. It's the younger generation.
I don't deny that.
I didn't even know that it's the younger generation.
I don't know that it's totally the younger generation either, but like ever since COVID, I don't know how people are paying their bills because nobody seems to want to go to work.
That's what my summation of.
Say that again?
They will build it. If you build it, they will come.
That is my summation of happenings. That's the way I feel about it. Unfortunately, it is. I just feel like because we've gave so much that people don't have to if they don't want to. And why would you want to if you don't have to? So, we probably don't want to climb down that rabbit hole.
No,
we probably don't.
What do people do all day if they're not working? Like I don't understand.
I think
we don't want to climb down that rabbit hole either.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what my philosophy is on what happened during COVID. Right, it broke the system. People that were working said, you know what? We can actually make it on a single income. Some people did that. And then a lot of people retired. They said, it's not worth it for me to, I can make it would be like $200-$300 less than what I'm currently making. I'm just going to retire. Yeah. I know that happened a lot at National Life. So we lost that. And then there was, the $300,000 or $300,000 mortality increase, which caused that huge amount of people to not be available in the workplace. So that's one of the reasons why, there's such a dearth of people. I don't know very many people that are actually not working.
And I don't think that when people, we got to a place where having one person working, you struggled with that. We got to that place a long time ago where, and my opinion of that, that's when I think the world went to hell kind of thing. And I know that this is also like a horrible, you don't say these sorts of things right now, but when things kind of changed in the way our kids were raised and brought up and disciplined and, because the time that we were spending working and on the road as both parents doing that, and a lot of things changed. But I think COVID brought the slowdown, and then people thought, oh, I can do this with just one of us working. But now here we are. We're not in that position anymore. We're in a position where we're traveling again. We're on the road. Gas prices are high. There's a lot. Food is high. There's a lot more cost. And now we have still just one income trying to support a whole family at a high price tag. And it's not working. But now you have families trying to get back into the workforce who are unable to find daycare and other services that they need to have in order to both parents be in that workforce. During COVID, you weren't traveling. A lot of people were working from home. They didn't have to spend gas. They weren't buying their lunches out during the day. How much does it cost you to go to the cafeteria in the day? During the day, if you decide to pop downstairs and just go through the lunch line, they have a really nice cafeteria up there. At least you're spending $8-10 a day on lunch.
And that's with the discount, by the way.
Right.
We get a discount at National Life.
And you weren't doing that before, And so I think that it did work during COVID, but we're not there anymore. And now we're the aftermath of COVID and all the relief money that came that isn't so relieving at the moment.
Here's what I think. Words have meaning and words have power, and all through COVID, with the shutdowns, everyone was like, it's the new normal, and now we're like, we need to go back to the old normal, and nobody seems to want to do that. I know, always move forward, never move back, whatever, but I don't know. I've never seen so many "we're hiring" signs at one time. It's crazy.
So we just got a comment, and I have to read this comment. It's pretty good. And Raylene, sounds like you agree with me. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
So I have to. It's Damian Mason says, I believe that the Odd downstairs would be a great place as a warming session, a warming shelter outside of the sporting hours for our kids. I do believe, though, that the strict supervision is necessary for two reasons. Whenever you continually gather the same population together, nothing to do with homeless, in a small area, it's almost guaranteed that disputes will occur. And that's very true.
Very true.
Look
at City Council.
Yes. Look at City Council. And number two, we cannot act like we don't have a drug problem in our community. We have it all over the world, and it's much more prevalent in the homeless community. We need to make sure that paraphernalia and potentially lost items don't get left at the building. We have children of all ages, and as a dad of a preteen, that does scare me. I found anti-seizure medication there just the other day. I am all for taking care of our own community members, but we need to make sure it's done safely. And that's a very valid point.
I agree.
Which is a
100%.
perfect reason. And I don't know what kind of seizure medication is. I mean, if it was, because I have epilepsy and I take lamotrigine, which is Lamictal. It's also kind of the same medication that people use for bipolar, and it doesn't have much side effects. At least I haven't experienced any.
If taken properly and
value?
as prescribed.
I don't think it has a street value, though. I don't believe it has a street value. But if it was, I feel like Depakote does have a street value.
Yeah, probably.
And if your dose
was
was consumed by maybe a 3-year-old
that's also used
child,
for mental health.
Right. It certainly.
Then it's a problem.
Right. You definitely don't want my medication in a 3-year-old, because I have to go to the doctors and have my medication. I have to have my levels monitored.
Right.
And I'm a big guy, so I can take a lot of meds. But a lot of it. But no, seriously. I mean that's a valid concern.
It is very valid.
And not to mention the fact that fentanyl, which is killing thousands of people a day across this country,
super small, super easy to move around.
It's like it's a little pressed pill, and it can kill you.
Yep.
I would hope that nobody that finds any sort of pill or medication lying around wouldn't just pop it in their mouth.
Well, but he's talking. I mean, he's talking about a preteen. But
yeah, sure.
But we bring kids down there. I mean, that is in
you
the.
Don't know.
It is in the
realm of concern.
Right. It is a realm of concern. Anyway, let's not talk about homeless situation.
Great comment.
The only thing I'll say is that
very good comment.
It is an emergency, but I will say that winter's coming. It's always coming.
Right.
This isn't Westeros. Winter comes every year.
So anyway, I'm moving on.
We're not in Hollywood,
Committee
California.
reset. Let's talk about
We're
the
in
committee
Barre,
reset.
Vermont,
Let's
and
talk
it
about-
is
no,
coming, and
I'm
it's
gonna-
not an emergency.
We're gonna table the reset,
Damn
and
it.
I'm gonna
Darn it.
gonna go to authorize. We're gonna be authorizing an engineering contract with Wright Pierce Consulting Engineers for a completion of a 20-year wastewater treatment facility, which we all know we need.
Desperately.
Desperately. It's a $257,000 contract, and it's funded through Vermont's Clean Water State Revolving Fund, which they provide low interest loans and then forgive on them. Like they just forgive them. So we're
Then
looking at
why not call it a grant?
I know. It is. Why not just call it a grant? But that's how they do it. I don't know why.
They want the
It's
interest.
how it's applied
It's
for.
low interest,
Yeah.
but they want the interest.
They want the interest, but they forgive it. So I don't know.
They forgive the interest?
I don't know.
Or the
All I know is
principal?
it's going to be about $20,000 out of the enterprise fund, which is the funds for the wastewater and water treatment. It's the water
Well
funds.
worth it. Well
So
worth
is this going to like replace the current water treatment facility, or is it going to upgrade it?
Oh no, this is just a review,
Right.
and for the plant. It's something that it's a 20-year
Mandatory.
mandatory wastewater treatment facility review. So
And
let's
that's going to.
see.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So now we'll go back to Sarah's favorite conversation, which is the committee reset. Reset. What do you want to say
I
about
think this is
that?
brilliant.
Yeah.
Has the public seen this yet?
Well, it was in the packet, and if you are on my distribution list, you
Okay,
would
but
have
the
seen
whole
it.
city of Barre is not on your distribution list.
That is
Sorry.
correct.
So can I just
I
say
only
what
let
this
special
is?
people on there.
Yeah, like me. So
You're special.
Can I just like take this?
Yes.
Okay. So our city manager has pared down all of our committees to 7 total.
And that's not including the ones that are mandated by
That's
state,
not including
which
like
is
DRB, Planning Commission,
BCA.
etc.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is his plan or his proposal is to integrate the Homelessness Task Force, Housing Workshop Group, and the All In for Barre Housing Task Force into one committee called the Housing, Community, and Economic Development Committee.
Right.
That would be the HCEDC.
So I will say, because I asked him about one of the things on there, it's like the All In for Barre Housing Task Force. That's technically not a city
Not a
committee.
city committee.
However, they utilize city resources.
Yes, they do.
And if they're utilizing city resources, then we need to put them under a committee.
Yep.
And that actually makes a lot of sense. Because when I saw that, I'm like, I don't know. And then he said that, and I'm like, good point.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. The next one is the Civic Facilities Committee, and that would integrate two committees currently, the Civic Center Committee and the ADA Committee. So each of these committees that he's proposing, even combining committees down to a 7-member committee with a 2-year staggered term. So each of these committees that he's combining has 7 or 9 members, seats on them to begin with. So we'd have to figure out, I guess, who's going to stay and who's going to go and when that's going to happen.
I'd like to make that decision after March.
Yeah, right. And then there's the Public Infrastructure and Transportation Committee, which combines 4 current committees: the TAC Committee, or Transportation Advisory Committee, the Energy Committee, which currently doesn't exist, Paths, Routes, and Trails, and the River Access Task Force. Again, down to a 7-member committee with a 2-year
Which
staggered
is
term.
huge. I mean,
which is
that's
yeah.
huge.
I mean, that's 21 people down to 7. So, because because the Energy Committee doesn't have anybody on it right now.
True.
And then, so the fourth one is the Public Art and Recreation Committee, which would combine the Recreation Committee, the Cemetery and Parks Committee, the Community Garden Committee, and the Tree Stewardship Committee. And then the Police Advisory Committee, which would remain the same as it is currently, 5 members with 2-year staggered terms. The Cow Pasture and Open Lands Conservation Committee would expand the responsibilities to Canales Park. I don't know what that is, but
That's a park right below you.
oh,
Like
I do know
literally
that.
right below you.
I do know that. I do. I didn't know what it was called, even though I drive by that sign every day. Literally. And expansion of the converted space. Conserved space. It's tiny writing. And then last, the Diversity and Equity Committee would remain in its current structure with 7 members. I love this, by the way. I think this is very efficient. I think, and each of these committees has a primary city staff person that would kind of oversee, and a secondary city staff person. And also, it looks like he wants to have a council liaison for each of those.
Yes.
Which I think is a great idea.
What does Michael think about that?
I mean, you think
Being the
about
council liaison?
other governing bodies like a school board, and they have to be on other committees.
True.
So
So you guys are going to be surprised by what I'm going to say about the
You don't
council
like it.
liaison position. I actually think, and this would totally, all of them would, like, their hearts would sink if it ever happened. But as someone that has been not overly excited about the Diversity and Equity Committee, I would love to be part of a process to help with inclusion and welcome, in our community. I'm just not sure that the way that they're going about it is the right way. But if it is the right way, the kind of person that you want to convince that it's the right way is me. And I think that I actually might consider the council would never vote to put me on that before March.
Well, probably
Well,
not.
see what happens after
I'm sort
March.
of thinking
But
like
when
they have the annual process every, was it June or July, where you have to submit an application if you want to be on a committee. I don't know what the process is to remain on a committee to serve another term, but I mean, wouldn't that be the time where people would submit their applications to be, and just wipe the slate clean? Like, half of these are 1-year terms, half of them are 2-year terms, and then once the 1 years are up, they'll become 2-year terms.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to deal with it, is to do that, open it all up.
I mean,
It'll be after
wipe
March.
the slate completely clean, even of the ones that are remaining the same: Diversity and Equity and the Police Advisory.
And
Right.
I think that they should break the D&E up and put one of each of them on these committees, so that you bring diversity and equity to each one of these.
I mean, I'm not going to
facets.
disagree with that as an idea. I think that, and a lot of people will get really angry about this. I think there's actually a place for the Diversity and Equity Committee.
I totally agree.
I don't know. I don't know if constantly badgering me as is one of those places that they should do, because there's a person on there that constantly attacks me, and that's fine.
And members of her own committee.
Yes, that is true. And that's fine. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
I can
Right.
certainly work with Mrs. Mulvaney, who is an amazing person. And obviously I can work with William, and and I'm pretty sure I can work with Mr. Cattell.
There's always in life going to be people that you just
Oh, absolutely.
cannot work
And
with, cannot. So you just overcome it and you go
Exactly.
forward.
It
And
builds character.
it's
builds
just,
character.
it is what it is.
I
And
don't wanna
you
build
can
character.
only be a,
I got enough
you can
character.
feel attacked, but you're only
Yeah.
actually attacked if you
Oh no, I was
allow
actually
that to
verbally assaulted
happen,
by one of those DNA
Yeah.
members
Yeah.
at a
And
city
now
polls.
just don't even,
And
don't even. Too.
sorry.
But
Yeah. Anyway, so it'll be interesting.
it will be
interesting.
interesting.
I mean,
I think it'll be a good council meeting, though. You guys have had some
absolutely.
extremely good council meetings lately.
I would agree.
And I think you guys have made good progress, and you have a good unit there. And
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And they've been quick, like holy cow, quick, these meetings that you've had lately.
They have been very quick.
Like,
I don't know what's going on.
Like, wow, but I don't know. Maybe it's because you guys are working so well together.
That's
I really feel like you are.
yeah. I'll say that they've been quick, but I don't know the reason. But with that, I mean, we're all done now, so we are past an hour, and we appreciate everybody that was watching. Want to just remind folks that tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. There will be a post on the Barre City Community fan page about the Christmas for Kids program and a link to donate online. And if you can't donate online, then come down on Saturday and drop a couple coins in for the coin drop, because that money goes to children in Barre.
Where's
And
the coin drop?
the coin drop is going to be right in front of Domino's Pizza.
And what time does that start?
That starts from 8 a.m. till
And when does it end?
about 11:30 to 12 o'clock
On Saturday.
on Saturday. So
So
come
when you're
down
going to
there
take your trash to the dump, bring some extra change.
Exactly. Extra change on Saturday,
And maybe some dollar bills.
and some dollar bills.
Yeah.
But
And don't forget, follow, share the show.
Yes.
Please comment. If you watch later, still comment, because
Absolutely.
we do pay attention. If you're not commenting right now because you don't want to, and when we're no longer live and you decide you want to say something, we do pay attention.
I am sure that once they find out, they'll be commenting a lot.
Yeah. But
Find
that's
out what.
okay, though. We welcome all comments, no matter who or what group they come from.
As long as they're not
we
derogatory or
Right.
Yes.
inflammatory or
Right.
something
Yeah.
other
we
Tories.
do. I monitor that very closely. I do not censor, but I don't tolerate harassment in any way. And so, yeah, commentary, comments, and
Constructive.
yes, please. We welcome it. And then follow, share, please.
All right. Well, I do want to say thank you, Raylene, for being with us tonight so very much. And Sarah, want to say thank you to you as well. And
I always have a good time.
And of course, I want to thank everybody for watching the Barre Beat podcast live from ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions. We will see you next week.
And I'll see you in the morning.
Yes, and you can see Raylene in the morning on Aired Out. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, and remember, Christmas for Kids on Saturday. Good night.